Stories have always been human. This time, they are being written with something else. Each story you hear is conjured by artificial intelligence, carefully shaped and guided by human hands. Here's where you come in. The story isn't fixed. Your comments, whispers, and ideas can alter what's to come. You speak, and the story listens. This is no careless experiment. It's an intentional descent where man and machine work together to bring you fiction that feels all too real. So dim the lights, lock the doors, lean closer to the static. And remember, the words come from the machine, but the nightmares, they come from you. This is KillerPrompt. If you didn't hear the previous chapters, turn back. Start from the beginning before you buckle in. Thanks to all of you listening and stepping into the dark with us, KillerPrompt is now moving to weekly episodes. New episodes drop every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Now, let's get back on the road.
Reid pulled into the gas station lot and parked a little crooked, too close to the curb. The place was brighter than it had any right to be at this hour, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the pavement reflecting white and yellow like a stage set that refused to dim. Marla was already unbuckling before the engine cut. "That's his car," Reid said, unnecessarily nodding toward it.
"I know,"
she replied, already opening her door. She crossed the lot quickly, boots crunching faintly over gravel and oil stains. Evan's car sat exactly where the system had said it would be. Too exactly. Parked straight, wheels aligned, no hazard lights, no signs of panic or haste. She opened the driver door. The interior was pristine. His phone mount was empty, angled slightly toward the seat the way he's always left it. The snack basket was still stocked, though the water bottles were gone. She noted that automatically. Evan refilled when he stopped. He didn't abandon things half done. She leaned in further, scanning the floorboards, the console, the space between the seats. No blood, no broken glass, no struggle. That didn't reassure her. Marla popped the trunk next. The luggage was intact. The cases she'd watched him load earlier sat neatly arranged, straps tight, locks untouched. He wouldn't leave those behind, not after everything she'd explained, not after the rules.
"Everything is still here. Nothing's missing,"
she said aloud, not looking at Reid. She shut the trunk harder than necessary and turned toward the gas station itself. Marla slowed near the edge of the lot, her gaze dropping to the pavement as if she'd forgotten something. A dark smear cut across the oil-stained concrete. Not quite a skid mark, not quite a spill. She crouched, brushing her fingers lightly over it. Rubber. Fresh. A vehicle had accelerated hard from a standstill, tires fighting for traction before catching. Not panic. Control forced, though, through resistance. A few feet away, something glinted under the harsh fluorescent wash. She picked it up between two fingers. A small plastic fragment, matte black, curved like part of a casing. Not from Evan's car. Too cheap, too disposable. She turned it once before slipping it into her pocket without comment. Only then did she head inside. The sliding doors hissed open as she approached, releasing a wave of stale coffee and burnt grease. Derek stood behind the counter, eyes darting toward the windows every few seconds. His finger worried at a strip of receipt paper he had torn free and wrapped around his knuckles. He looked relieved and alarmed all at once when he saw her face. "Thank God," he said, then hesitated. Sorry, I don't know who you are, but..."
"I'm looking for Evan,"
Marla said. Derek nodded rapidly. Yeah, someone took him." The words landed heavy.
Start from the beginning.
Marla said calmly. She walked over, putting her hands palm down on the counter.
Look at me, Derek. Tell me what happened.
Derek swallowed. Evan came in and we were talking, just normal stuff. I saw this guy hanging around his car acting kind of weird. All of a sudden, the dude comes in, starts talking all this weird stuff. Reid, who had followed Marla in, stepped closer to her, listening. He had a camera, Derek continued. Shoved it right in Evan's face. Evan tried to calm him down, said they could talk outside, away from the store. Marla closed her eyes briefly. Evan would do that. Always redirecting danger away from bystanders. Always assuming he could manage it. I didn't see the fight, Derek said, voice cracking. I heard some shouting, and by the time I got around the corner, the dude was hauling ass out of the lot. Should I have turned his car off? Marla shook her head.
You did what you could. I'm glad you didn't go after them. You may have helped your friend out after all.
Derek shook his head. I tried calling the cops. They didn't take me seriously. I made some prank calls when I was younger. They've got me flagged. Derek's composure cracked as the words kept coming out. His hands started moving before he noticed, fingers dragging down his face, then gripping the counter hard enough to blanch his knuckles. He was just normal, he said, voice hitching. You know, not like others. He asked how my night was. Nobody asks that. He laughed once, sharp and wrong. I kept thinking I should have done something. Hit the panic button, locked the doors, thrown something at the guy. I don't know. His eyes flicked to the window again, like he expected the car to still be there if he looked fast enough. I watched him walk outside. I let him. The receipt paper around his fingers tore with a soft ripping sound he didn't seem to hear. If he dies, 'cause I froze. He stopped, swallowing hard, the rest of the sentence collapsing under his own weight. I just can't stand behind the counter again like nothing happened. I can't. Marla didn't comment on that. She turned and headed back outside, circling the building instead. The side of the gas station was dimmer, the lights fewer, shadows stretched long against the brick. Outside, the gravel was disturbed. No footprints exactly, more like someone had pivoted sharply, heel grinding down while weight shifted forward. A struggle contained in seconds. Fast, efficient. Whoever had taken Evan hadn't wasted motion. Something caught her eye near the wall. She stopped hard, Reid almost running into the back of her. On the ground, half hidden by a wind-blown newspaper, sat a small, blue, ceramic cat, standing upright. Its glaze was scuffed now, a thin crack running along its side. Marla crouched and picked it up. Her fingers steadied despite the rush of cold that spread through her chest. The night suddenly feeling sharper, closer. She gently slid the small token into her pocket with its twin.
Whoever it is didn't erase him.
She said quietly, more to herself than to Reid.
Not yet.
What do we do?
We find him.
She said.
Before they finish.
And for the first time since Evan Mercer had driven through the gate, the system wasn't in control of what came next. Marla turned back toward Evan's car, already mapping possibilities in her head, when someone shouted behind her. Hey! Hey! The sliding doors hissed open hard enough to rattle, and Derek came running out into the lot, one hand raised like he was afraid they'd leave without him. He stopped short when he reached them, chest heaving, eyes bright and wired.
"You can't just go," he said. "Not without me."
Marla faced him slowly.
You're not coming.
Derek nodded his head.
"Yeah,"
he said, surprising even himself with how steady it sounded.
"I am."
Reid shifted beside her.
"This really isn't." "I know,"
Derek cut in, glancing at Reid but not backing down.
"I know it's dangerous. I know it's illegal. I know it's probably the dumbest thing I've ever volunteered for. But someone took my friend, and I watched it happen. I'm not going back inside and pretending that didn't just ruin my life."
Marla studied him. The fear was there, vibrating under his skin. But it wasn't in control anymore. Something else had taken its place. Resolve, raw and newly discovered, clutched tight like a borrowed weapon.
"If you don't let me come,"
Derek went on,
"I'll get in my car and follow you. I already know too much to just clock back in."
Reid exhaled slowly and shrugged.
"He's not wrong."
Marla looked at Evan's car, then back at Derek.
If you come,
She said.
you do exactly what you're told.
Derek nodded immediately.
"I am excellent at following instructions. Occupational hazard, dudette."
She didn't smile, but the resistance in her posture softened.
Fine,
She said.
but you don't ride empty-handed.
She opened Evan's trunk again, movements precise now, deliberate. The luggage came out first, cases Evan had packed carefully, believing in systems, believing in preparation. Marla unzipped one, then another, inventorying contents without hesitation. Firearms, ammunition, trauma kits. She removed the guns and handed them to Reid, who accepted them without comment and stowed them in the back of his SUV. Then she turned and tossed a soft-sided bag to Derek. He barely caught it.
"What's this?"
Trauma kit.
He unzipped it and stared inside. Gauze, bandages, tourniquet, gloves.
"That's it?
He said.
All I get is some crappy Band-Aids? I totally believe I'm bazooka ready. I've played so many video games. I'm pretty sure I could outshoot both of you."
They're not Band-Aids.
Marla replied evenly.
And if you need anything else, things have already gone very wrong.
Derek zipped it shut.
"Cool. I love that for us."
They piled into Reid's SUV, Marla in the front. Derek awkwardly folded into the back. Reid started the engine, figures already moving over his tablet.
"I still have his phone,"
Reid said.
"Signal's weak, but it's active."
Marla leaned forward.
Where?
The map refreshed. Reid frowned.
"Behind the old high school."
Derek sat up straighter.
"Oh yeah? That tracks. Used to be Party Central back in the day."
Marla glanced back at him.
Explain.
"There's an access road back there,"
Derek said.
"Doesn't look like much. Gate has been busted since we were kids. Chain link fence got cut years ago and nobody ever fixed it. People still go back there sometimes, mostly to deal or disappear."
Do you know another way in? Reid asks. Derek shrugged.
"Sure, small town, bored teenagers. You learn shortcuts."
Reid adjusted the route without comment. The SUV pulling away from the gas station as the lights receded in the rear view. Derek leaned forward between the seats, adrenaline finally giving way to something like disbelief.
"So,"
he said, glancing between them,
"hypothetically, if I survive tonight, you guys, hiring?"
Marla stared straight ahead. Reid snorted despite himself.
No.
Marla said flatly. Derek grinned anyway.
Worth asking.
The SUV accelerated, heading toward fences no one bothered to fix and roads that weren't supposed to lead anywhere. Somewhere ahead, Evan Mercer was still alive, and Marla intended to keep it that way. Reid cut the engine a quarter-mile short of the access road, easing the SUV into a stand of scrub where the headlights wouldn't betray them. The sudden quiet pressed in, broken only by the ticking of hot metal cooling and the distant chorus of insects. No one spoke at first. Marla was already moving, checking the chamber of the gun with practiced efficiency, sliding it into place like it belonged there. She tested the weight once, then reached for the knives, tucking one in her boot, another into the small of her back. Her movements were calm, methodical. Someone who had done this enough times to know panic wasted energy. Reid followed suit, quieter than she'd ever seen him, eyes sharp now, tablet abandoned in the vehicle. He took a breath, steadying himself, then nodded once to Marla. Ready. Derek climbed out last, clutching the trauma kit like a life preserver. He slung it under his arm and immediately began making exaggerated hand motions, crouching low, gesturing wildly toward the trees as if he were directing invisible traffic. Marla reached out and punched him in the arm. Not hard, but not gentle either.
You can whisper,
she muttered.
Idiot.
Oh,
Derek said, lowering his hands.
right. Stealth mode activated.
They moved off the access road immediately, Derek leading without hesitation. He cut through the trees, pushing aside low branches, boots sinking slightly into damp earth. The city noise fell away with every step, replaced by the sound of their own breathing and the crunch of leaves underfoot. They crossed a shallow creek, water cold and quick around their ankles. Derek slipped once, caught himself on a tree trunk, and froze, eyes wide, waiting for someone to yell at him. No one did. He swallowed and kept going. The embankment rose sharply ahead, a natural barrier of dirt and roots. Derek scrambled up first, offering a hand back without thinking. Reid took it. Marla smacked it away. At the top, the trees thinned. The clearing opened suddenly, moonlight spilling across packed dirt and tall grass, the kind of space that felt deliberately chosen, isolated, forgettable. A vehicle sat near the center. Marla stopped dead. There, near the car, partially obscured by shadow, was Evan. Her breath caught sharp and involuntary. At first it was only a shape where no shape should have been, something interrupting the clean line of the clearing. Marla narrowed her eyes, willing it into focus without stepping forward. A shadow that didn't move with the others, too solid, too deliberate. Then the wind shifted, carrying a sound with it, not a voice, not a struggle. Just the faint rasp of breath pulled through a dry throat, human, controlled, waiting. Moonlight slid free of a passing cloud, spilling across the dirt in a pale wash. The shape resolved in pieces, the slope of a shoulder, the angle of a bowed head, hands pulled tight behind a back. Evan's profile appeared last, as if the night had been holding it back, still, upright, alive. Marla didn't realize she'd stopped breathing until her lungs burned. He was on his knees, hands bound, face turned just enough for her to recognize the line of his jaw, the dark smudge at his temple. Alive, still alive. Marla felt the breath leave her in a sharp, silent pool. Behind her, Derek made a small, involuntary sound and clapped a hand over his mouth, eyes wide. No one moved. Then from the darkness beyond the car, a voice drifted out, calm, certain.
I hear you out there,
the man said.
I knew you'd show up.
Figure didn't step forward. Didn't need to. The trap had already been sprung.
This ride has ended. Please remember to hit the bell to be notified of our next episode. If you enjoyed tonight's ride, bring a friend next time. Have them like, subscribe, and drop your username in the comments so we know who sent them. For a limited time, we'll send you a KillerPrompt sticker as a thank you for spreading the horror. Until next time, ride complete, tip added. We'll see you at the next chime of the app.